Hey, 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 let me write a song to this, y'all. Let me write a song to this. Bitch, I need you in my life, girl. Just sit on my face, bitch. What is up? What is up? Let me turn this clown ass shit down. God damn. Oh man, what is going on? What is going on, people? We are back and we are black. What is the deal? What is going on? I am your boy Warren G, the place to be. Been clown free and sucker free since 2003. Man, what is going on? Look, everybody got oh, you know I'm about to get on y'all niggas. Got your Sunday's best on, your Easter suit, because niggas ain't been to church all year long and then want to go on Easter Sunday. Most of y'all niggas is going to church on Sunday see if y'all can fuck a bitch. And most of you bitches that's at church, most of you women that's at church, look, let me tell y'all, if y'all going to church, I don't know why y'all going unless y'all trying to fuck the pastor. If you ain't trying to fuck the pastor, I don't even know why you at church. But anyway, did Jesus come back today? Because I know what y'all was waiting for. Ooh, let me get my best on because I know Jesus going to be there today. Looking ass. Man, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, hey, man, this is another day, another dollar. For me, it's 10 cents because, you know, I'm black. You know, black people, we don't make that much money. I don't give a fuck what job you on. It is the corporate plantation and you are a slave. Neo type shit. But anyway, hey, man, I just want to come to you. It is Sunday. I hope whenever you watch this, if you listen to it on YouTube, listen to it tomorrow when you go to the corporate plantation after you done got Jesus said it out your brain, all that other shit. Then you can go to church, you can go to work and listen to some real shit. But anyway, hey man, I really, you know, I look at things and I said, oh look, I didn't even spell the shit wrong on the title. But anyway, I've been looking at some things and reading. Right now, I am currently reading numerology. This numerology book by King Simon, great book. I got done reading the numerology and the divine triangle. That shit had my head hurting, so I had to get King Simon's book. I'm about to get another book on numerology. So that now I got my little clown ass library. But anyway, after you got your Easter Sunday bullshit on, because I know most of you guys are out of church and you probably at Denny's or IHOP or one of them clown ass restaurants eating dinner and talking about what a good service you had and how God did all those wonderful things for you and all this other shit. First of all, before I get into the topic, I just want to just get this shit straight about the Jesus said it. Look, y'all niggas, clown motherfuckers. You going to church and you're hiding Easter eggs and shit and Easter bunny. First of all, bunnies don't lay eggs, they lay shit. So I don't understand why y'all get this concept of bunnies laying eggs. Yeah, they lay some chocolate all right and it's shit. So while y'all thinking that they lay eggs, yeah, they lay eggs all right. They lay shit. So get that out of your mind and out of your hearts that you're thinking, oh, you gonna hide Easter eggs everywhere and all this other bullshit. Only thing you should be doing with an Easter egg, period, is eating it for the protein. And not hiding it around the fucking church and everything else and thinking that's a part of some type of religious code or whatever. That's some shit that they told you. That shit ain't got nothing to do with the goddamn Bible or context of the Bible. Period. That's some shit that they told you. And for all you, what are they? Catholics, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, that clown shit. I wonder if y'all gonna pray that these priests stop booty busting them boys like they've been doing the last umpteen 100 years or whatever. That's what y'all need to be praying for if you're Catholics anyway. And for all you, Jesus said it, and and all this other shit, if that's y'all, then why don't y'all pray that y'all have knowledge of self? And take that picture, Pal Gasol and Kurt Rambis mix with a perm press just for me kid. Take that off the wall, all with the blue eyes and all this other shit. Take Cesare Borgia off the wall and put somebody that looks like you on the wall. And then maybe I'll start taking that serious. Other than that, if you want to join a religion, in my honest opinion, join the nations of God and earth. 5 percenters, join the Nation of Islam, join the Hebrew Israelites, join religious movements that will better teach you knowledge of who you are. If you are black or melanated and you are in a religious faith and all y'all doing is Jesus said it, but you don't have no knowledge of who you are, you have no knowledge about the system of white supremacy, you don't have no knowledge of how they dominate 9 areas of activity, that would be in this book right here if we want to get that cracking, and I talk about it every week. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, the ISIS Papers. If that religion does not teach you about who you are and what life is about, then you might need to find another religion instead of just Jesus said and all this other shit. So I'm just saying, that's just my partake on it. But now that we got that clown ass Easter Sunday shit out the way, and I know y'all got your Sunday suit on, it's all buttoned up. And like I said before, most niggas that's at church, they looking for a bitch to fuck. And most of the women that's at church, like I told you, if you're not trying to fuck the pastor, then I don't even know why you at the church. That's a fact. But anyway, I digress. I just want to get that out the way for all you Sunday churchgoers or people that wait for a holiday like Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, Christmas or Easter. Because that's the only time niggas go to church, really. Other than that, niggas be talking this, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual and all this other shit. Well, you know what? To me, you're not spiritual till you know that you are the God. That's what's part of the nation of God and earth. That's why I'm about to start diving into that. Shouts out to Lord Jamar, because I'm tired of watching Lord Jamar's podcast, which is a very good podcast, and he always has the supreme mathematics that he starts with. And I hate not knowing that. So that's why I'm going to dive into that. So peace and shout out to Lord Jamar, pillar of the community, and he stands on what we should believe in and what we should be studying and having knowledge of. More people need to look into that. But anyway, now that we got that shit out the way, for all you anthropo niggas and niggas that want to go to church and all that other shit, ain't nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and go. But like I said, women, if y'all going to church, y'all ain't fucking the pastor. If y'all ain't trying to fuck the pastor, now I don't even know why y'all there. But we about to delve into something that's a little bit more critically acclaimed, I guess you would say. Of course, social media is the motherfucker, and the news is the motherfucker, because sometimes you got to go to social media to get the real perspective of what the news is putting out, because a lot of times they put out fake news and false narratives. And I looked at this thing, that's why the title is called Justice for Lucca, and how those sheriffs, Christopher, I forgot one of the dude's names, I'm going to look him up right now, but I forgot the other dude's name. It was 2 officers that were involved in something that was just horrible. How they pepper sprayed this young black brother and slammed his head into the concrete pavement repeatedly over and over and over and over again. And what I thought was interesting was that only thing those other kids could do was just scream. And, oh, stop, he's bleeding. And I think what we need to start doing is taking a different form of action. And let me get their names. I'm about to get, their names of who they are. Okay, Christopher Krakovich or whatever, and Greg Lacera. Those are the 2 race soldiers, as our brother Tariq Nasheed likes to call them. I like to call them, those are our 2 system of white supremacists. That's what they are. They're representatives of the system of white supremacy. You know how you have sales reps, who come and they sell things like air conditionings, or they sell books, or they sell Avon. You have your sales reps, they sell pharmaceuticals. Well, they're sale reps for the system of white supremacy. They are representatives of the system of white supremacy. And those 2 race soldiers that was repeatedly banging that child's head into the concrete, these are what black people normally deal with. And let me get into this. No, I don't have the data and all this, but I could just tell you things that I've read and just things that I've seen. Black people we are used to dealing with this. That's why when I was on Twitter and one dude was like, oh, well, I said, he tweets, oh, well, police is like that to all races. I said, yeah, it's easy to say it when you're not black. Black people have been dealing with law enforcement and the injustices in law enforcement for 400 years. People don't understand what Andrew Jackson did with law enforcement and how he was able to go over there into Florida and jack black people for their land and use the police to do it. under the guise of, oh, you broken the law. Even though there was a treaty that stated, I don't know if it was Spain or France, one of those countries had a treaty with Florida that Florida was to give the remainder of any property that's owed to a black people back to the black people. And Andrew Jackson was basically like, fuck those niggas. And he went and got the police, law enforcement, to do his bidding. So don't fucking tell me. The system of white supremacy is prevalent. It is real. It is in corporate America. It is in the NBA. It is in the NFL. It is in Major League Baseball. It's in hockey. It's in Hollywood. It's all around us. It's definitely in law enforcement, the DEA, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI. Oh, we know it's in the FBI. Oh, what do you mean it's in the FBI? Warren, what are you talking about? It's not in the FBI. Oh, it can tell me that it's not prevalent and it's not in law enforcement. That's why it's so funny to watch other races try to liken their situation with the police to black people. Just like the LGBTQ element, no clown, you're not black. So your struggle is not our struggle. And that's a fact. So you can say whatever you want. And that's real. Oh, I'm just making sure the motherfucking... And here's another thing that I like to see. And I would like my people to see that, hey, this is what they've been doing to us. And it's easy to get on Twitter and scream and shout and all. Okay, that's fine. But what are you doing behind the scenes? I think what we should start doing is putting liens on police officers' bonds. That's what we need to start doing. They're licensed and bonded and insured. They're law enforcement. So let's start putting liens on them. Let's find out that. That's what I'm about to find out too. Oh, I'm definitely about to find that out. How to put a lien on a policeman's bond or a judge's bond. I know they were doing that in California, and they had to come up with a law for that shit. That's why we gotta look to the Nation of Islam. We have to look to the 5%ers, look to the Hebrew Israelites, look to the Moor Science Temple and see if they have decoded what the infrastructure of these laws are, so we can start learning how to beat them where they stand. Fight fire with fire. See, law enforcement been this way towards black people. See, they want to do niggas like that. When you watch that and you see it, that shouldn't shock you. It's funny how you watch white people be shocked. Oh, I'm appalled. Steve Kerr wrote some clown ass shit on Twitter talking about, oh, that was terrible and all sorts of shit. Man, y'all white people know what the fuck is going on. For all you Caucasians that try to act like, oh, what's going on? That's why I typed that in the chat room. Shawnee, I just wanted to make sure the chat was working because I know how YouTube is. Sometimes the chat will work and sometimes the clown ass shit don't work. What's happening with it? But I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you, white fragility is real. Get this book called White Fragility. Look it up on Amazon. Man, that white lady was telling all the shit that they was doing. Man, when I read that book, it fucked me up because it's the shit that you see every day. You see it on the corporate plantation. You see it in the NBA. Okay, what do you mean the NBA, Warren? That was white fragility. When Donald Sterling said, I fuck them niggas. I give them their money, their cars. I give them their lifestyle. All those niggas did was protest, and then the NBA deflected, and oh, we don't tolerate that. And they used white fragility, and they took the team from him, and then all they did was sell it to another Caucasian Jew. They didn't sell it to no black people. If the NBA wanted to make a change, if Adam Silver, who is a Jew, who wanted to make a change and show us black people who make up 85% of the NBA, that we are moving in the right direction and we ain't for that shit, then guess what would happen? They would have sold it to a black person, and it would have been two owners. It would have been Michael Jordan and another owner. But if you notice, only one owner, that's Michael Jordan. His team is terrible, and they don't even make the playoffs. They want his team to be so far down the line. The system of white supremacy is prevalent, and it is real, ladies and gentlemen. So while y'all, Jesus said, and all this other bullshit, and lying, and dying eggs, and hiding them and eating them and shit, we have race soldiers, we have representatives of the system of white supremacy. That's what I call them. I call them reps. I call them white supremacist reps. They white supremacist reps. You're like, what do you mean? They are representatives of the system of white supremacy. They are showing you how the system works. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this young nigga, and ain't none of y'all other niggas gonna do shit about it. Period. Let me read something from chat. You're good. Still no thumbs up, though. No matter how many times you hit it, it says 0. I know. Look, man, I already know. Because, look, remember we talked about this a long time ago. And what the chat room is saying is you can't even hit the thumbs up. You can't hit the bell, the subscribe button. I already know what the fuck be going on. I know they be fucking with the shit. Because anybody that's talking real shit, they don't really want them on here. Unless you're making money for them. That's why I'm putting this energy out there that some black brother will come up with a social media platform where we can stream our videos and it can just be their own platform and you don't have to worry about motherfuckers like YouTube deflecting the video and making it where they not putting the shit out there and make it, you know, because I already know what they doing. They fuck with the algorithm. Because I noticed when it's death, that's why I didn't want to keep talking about Nipsey Hussle, RIP to him, because when it was death, the views kind of went up, and I didn't really like that because I don't like that death is the reason why. Every time I talk about death and somebody dying, the views go up. That's why I don't like to touch on that a lot because I don't like to cloud chase. I want people to get the message. Fuck all that cloud chasing and want a whole bunch of people to come to your page. I ain't into that shit. I like organically building shit. I like to build shit from the ground up. I don't like to do a little bit and then it's popping and then you can brag and man, fuck all that. Cause like brother Ben X from the Nation of Islam, he had so many subscribers, they just took his page from him. You speaking hate when really he was speaking the truth. So shout out to the Nation of Islam, the FOI. Shout out to those brothers. Like, man, it's encouraging to me every day. Just listen to Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speak. Listen to Brother Reza Islam speak. I learn a lot from them. For real. They don't teach hate. They teach self-respect, loving ourselves, knowing that black people are gods. Just like the nation of gods and earth. God body. Just like, you know, it's just, we got to know who we are. And we have to understand that when we, as a people come together and unify, man, it's great. You know, I look at even how that boy got banged upside his head and I saw the look on his mom's face and I just was like, damn, man. So they're going to try to sue. The court's going to find no wrongdoing of what the police officers did, of fucking course. And then after they find it, we ain't going to talk about it no more. Just like Nipsey Hussle. I give it 6 months. Ain't nobody going to be worried about the Marathon store and all that. Niggas going to go on about their lives, act like this shit don't exist. That's what I'm used to. Because that's what we do. We are symbols. They want to put Nipsey Hussle on a video game. They want to name a street after Nipsey Hussle. No, government, no, city of Los Angeles. You want to do Nipsey Hussle you want to do him a solid? Why don't you help him franchise his store? Find some other property and give his family a discount on the property. Why don't y'all do that? Why don't y'all make it where anything his brother purchases for his, you know, in the name of Nipsey Hussle, he gets a complete discount on the property. See, they like to give us symbolisms, but they don't want to give us no money. That's a fact. Remember that. They ain't gonna ever give you no money. I'm good we fighting this ADOS. See, I was looking at this too, and I'm gonna talk about this as well. I looked on Twitter, and shout out to brother Dr. Boyce Watkins. Shout out to Vicky Diller. Shout out to Talib Kweli. I watched a little bit of the podcast that they had, and that's how grown people handle it. We don't attack Talib Kweli. First of all, most y'all niggas ain't even fans of Talib Kweli. Y'all don't even know who he is. Y'all just heard about Talib Kweli. These niggas don't know. Talib Kweli been fighting this fight in the 90s. When it wasn't cool to be conscious. When Talib Kweli and Mos Def was looked at as like, oh, them is conscious brothers. They weird. I remember that. Now all of a sudden it's cool to be conscious. And now it's like, oh, well, he's just conscious, not knowing how knowledgeable he is. Man, I got all his fucking CDs. Deflection Eternal, the one that Tech 9 produced. I got all his CDs. Talib Kweli is dope as fuck. He's an activist. He's really out there in the community. He's really doing things to change what's going on. You know, but here we are attacking him. And what I don't like about the situation with Talib Kweli and the ADOS movement, shout out to them too, is that the minions of the ADOS movement, they just attacking them, they fucking with them, they doing all kinds of shit. It's like, what are y'all doing? And that's why the dominant society sits back and laughs, because we don't know how to have disagreements in private. No, what Dr. Boyce Watkins did and Vicky Diller, shout out to her, and Talib Kweli did, they came together and had a real grown-up conversation about how can we move forward. We can agree to disagree. That's how you do it. You don't start attacking them. A lot of times, black people, when they have a following, that shit go to their head. And it's not about you. It's about the movement. Let me read something from the chat room. Hey, what's happening, Screwhead? Let his kids, okay, we talking about Nipsey Hussle. Let his grandkids' kids eat. I believe it. But do you see what I'm saying though, Shawnee? Let his kids' eat. Y'all should be helping him try to franchise that Marathon store all over Los Angeles. It should be a Marathon store in Beverly Hills. Oh, it's okay to be on Crenshaw Slauson. Why isn't there one in Beverly Hills? It should be sold out. I'm watching this show called American, I forgot what it is. It's with this British actor. It's on the CW and it's on Netflix. And the first episode, they were playing All My Life, Grinding All My Life by Nipsey Hussle. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then the kid is representing Crenshaw, the high school. So he's got one of Nipsey Hussle's sweaters on. And I think that's what he needs. He needs free marketing and promotion. He needs franchising for his kids to eat. So our sister Lauren London doesn't never have to act again. That's how it should be, because he was a soldier for us. He was for our movement. But we just focus on symbolism. Oh, they putting him on a game. What is putting Nipsey Hussle on a video game gonna do for his children? We gotta understand, this is about survival of the fittest. This is about resources. Racism is about the competition of resources and how you use those resources to oppress and manipulate that system for your race. That's a fact. We got to know what it is. Let me tell you something. If black people control the councilmen and the commissioners, then you can control the police department. Then you can control who's out policing your areas. Why is it always in a black neighborhood is white or Caucasian police officers? How would they ever know how to deal with us? Then all they do is use white fragility and deflect and say we're going to have social inequality training. What is that? That means nothing. Those are ambiguous terms and how they group it together. It's almost like, oh, people of color. So you're putting Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and everybody else in black people struggle. When Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and everybody else, they don't want to claim black until it's convenient for them. You know how many people are like, hey, you black? I'm Dominican. I'm not black. But they want to nigga this and nigga that. Fuck all that. Then stay your ass over there. Matter of fact, you can take your bitch ass back to Dominican Republic then. Since you don't want to be black, I bet you if we got reparations, motherfuckers be talking this, oh, I ain't Dominican, but I'm black. I black too. That bullshit. We got to understand what it is. Niggas don't claim us until it's convenient for them. And like I said before, I'm tired of Caucasians acting like the system of white supremacy does not exist. Like the motherfucker on Twitter who gonna say, the person on Twitter, he's gonna say, well, police are like that to every race. Right. So they just shooting people like they did Walter Scott and plant evidence like to every race, right? Or they're putting crack cocaine on the streets in every white community, right? No, I just think that happens to be the black community in the 80s. So I don't want to hear that shit. That's the problem. We go for symbolisms. No, y'all too much at church. Jesus said it, and victory shall be mine, and I'm a soldier, and Jesus said, Jesus, all this shit. And then when you ask a nigga about, hey man, did you read Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book? Man, it's a good book. They gonna be like, no, brother, but I read Ecclesiastes 4 and 9 and all this other shit. And you be like, okay, but how does that help me with the system of white supremacy? How does it help me? Because I think like the only person that can really translate that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was brought to us by Master Farrar Muhammad. You ain't talking about them. You ain't talking about God body. You ain't talking about them. I don't want to hear that shit. If it ain't no Hebrew Israelite, ain't people that's really, really teaching us about who we are, I don't want to hear that shit. Because you can't sing your way out of the system of white supremacy. That's a fact. But everybody show at church hiding Easter eggs. Like I said before, bunnies don't lay eggs. They lay shit. They lay shit. So that chocolate shit you see, that's shit. Not eggs that you can eat. Ah, damn. The motherfuckers always, we just repeat whatever's taught to us because we've been stripped. We are bereft of knowledge. That's fact of who we are. We've been stripped of the knowledge. They have taken it away from us, removed it, and they have uploaded their knowledge onto our hard drives. So we're regurgitating what they taught us. That's why you got to eject yourself from the matrix. Know what social media is, know what it's about. The Book of Enoch. I'm going to check that out. You know, any book, y'all tell me, like, Tamisha sent me this email about this book, about this white pastor being white. I'm going to check that book out too. The Book of Enoch, I've heard this dude talk about that book too. Hey, I'm pulling my phone out. You know, I don't be playing. I don't give a fuck. It's the internet. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I ain't trying to get likes and all that. You can't even hit the like button anyway. If you listening on SoundCloud, I appreciate you. If you watching on YouTube, I appreciate you too. But we already know, Shawnee Brown already put it out there. You can't even hit the like button. You probably can't even hit the bell subscribe button because I know I'm speaking real shit. So I'm glad it's like that. I'm glad it's like that. The Book of Enoch, the book of Enoch. And you said it's by R.H. Charles. The Book of Enoch is one by Joseph Lumpkin. The Book of Enoch. I don't see the one. Oh, I got it right here. The Book of Enoch, the Prophet. I got to check it out. What's the book about? Give me a little bit of what the book is about. Is it cold? Is it dope? Damn, it's got a lot of it's got 877 views. Reviews. I'm going to have to check this out. I'm going to have to add this to my list. Like I was saying before, I know if you go back and watch it, Shawnee, and Screwhead, shout out to Screwhead too. He was on the last podcast as well. I'm surprised he was even able to check it out. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure I got it on my cart because Amazon be bullshitting too. Okay, cool. I just need one copy. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. It's a code? Okay, it's a code. All right, I'm gonna check it out. Hey, I just got, like I said, I just got this book on the 5 percenters. You remember I was telling you about how Lord Jamar always started his podcast with the supreme mathematics? Like, today is wisdom and such and such and such. And I just be like, him and Raw Digging, I'd be like, I feel left out not knowing that shit. I'm like, man, I'm about to get this book. So it's going to kind of give me the breakdown, the origins about the nations of God and earth and the 5 percenters. Then I ain't reading that yet. I'm still reading King Simon. I'm gonna tell y'all again, I'm still reading King Simon's numerology book. I already finished the Divine Triangle of Numerology. I didn't really like that book too much, but I learned a little bit. And I learned way more from King Simon's book. His book is dope. Okay, for sure. And I'm gonna get another book by Lloyd Strayhorn or whatever. He has a numerology book. So I'm gonna check his book out next. Cause I didn't know that Chingy was a numerologist. He went to Dr. Phil Valentine's school, which eventually I want to enroll in. That's a real school, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. No diss. Hey, if you got your degree, I'm proud of my people that get their college degrees. You need those. And the reason why, because that's your passport. That guarantees they gotta pay you a certain amount of money. I'm not saying that they gonna do it, but they gonna pay you a certain amount of money if you got that. Alchemy is the breakdown of numbers. Facts. Yep. I've heard Blue Pill, Red Pill talk about alchemy being a breakdown of like numbers and shit. That's why I'm reading the numerology. I just want to, I know, because I get tired of motherfuckers talking about, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm such. But astrology and numerology, that kind of goes hand in hand. So you kind of have to know both to know if people are compatible and shit like that. So that's why I'm reading this numerology. Let me read from, sorry, this Easter weekend has been hectic, but I'll be here listening. Oh, damn, what happened, Screwhead, man? It's all good. I appreciate it. We got to know what it is. Hey, just y'all, if you just tuning in, I'm talking about justice for Lucca and how this young black brother was getting his head bashed in by representatives of the system of white supremacy. I mean, literally just getting fucked up in front of all his peers. First, they pepper sprayed his ass. I mean, literally, instead of saying, hey man, back. And this is what it is. Even if you talk back, you're a threat to them because they don't like you anyway because you're black. That's why I don't like it when other races always try to be like, oh, well, they do that to all races. That's bullshit. Get any book on that and you will know the sum of the codes. Okay. The Book of Enoch. I've heard a lot of people talk about the Book of Enoch. I'm going to have to get that. Like I said, I just got the 5 Percenters book. I've read one book on numerology. I'm almost done with King Simon's book. Now I'm about to get another book on numerology. And then I think the next, we got to know these things. And we have to know how to not be so emotional. And we have to understand that the system of white supremacy is prevalent, is real as a $5 bill in this bitch. And we got to know they don't like you. I don't care how much they try to come together. Yeah, they might have wanted to meet with Nipsey. But on the other hand, look at the rate. Look, it's a blue line, and that blue line will be respected across all states. They will not tell on each other, and they will not break code. That's being on code. That's what we need to understand about reading Neely Fuller Jr.'s book. Being on code. The blue line is a code, and they protect that code. The fraternal order of police is real, ladies and gentlemen. So while you out there dying eggs and laying them and hiding them and shit and giving your kids chocolate Easter bunnies and shit and having your kids think that Easter bunnies lay eggs, they lay shit. It's over there on the counter. I don't even want to leave this post right now. I got over there on the counter. Yeah, it's by Muhammad McKnight or Muhammad Knight. That's what the book is. It's the 5 Percenter Nation. The 5 Percenters Nation is the book you have. I think that's what it is. It's black. And it's got that, remember that chain that Jay-Z was wearing when he was promoting Magna Carta Holy Grail on the Breakfast Club? And then Charlemagne kind of asked him about it and he didn't want to talk about it because Jay-Z is a 5 Percenter. He's a 5 Percenter. So I think he had the chain on, and that chain is the 5 Percenter chain. He's just a kid. Why they have to use so much force on him, especially in front of many people with their phones out recording? Because the system of white supremacy don't give a fuck about your phones. They don't give a fuck what you record. They don't care. It's their system. That's what we got to understand. It's their system, not ours. You know what I'm saying? It's their system, so we got to understand what it is. If it's their system, we can't have this idea of, oh, it's on tape, so they gon' Laquan McDonald was on tape and they still had to go through the rhetoric. It's their system. That's why I don't be caring when black people or lawyers or attorneys. Unless you fight for black people, I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's why Johnny Cochran was revered, because at least he was fighting for black people. God damn. See, that's the problem. We lose sight of what the goals are and what we're supposed to be doing, in my opinion. And we get to bickering and fighting with each other over shit that don't matter. Why these race soldiers, representatives of the system of white supremacy, are beating the shit out of our people, and we don't know how to really truly defend ourselves. What you do is, I think we got to start putting lien on these police bonds. Putting a lien on their bond. If you gonna vote and you take voting seriously, vote locally. Fuck vote nationally. They got that game on lock. They'll just cheat. Hell, they'll cheat locally too. And this is another thing I want to get on. Stop thinking that every other race is gonna fight for you and stick up for you. No races give a fuck about black people's sad story. We gotta start giving a fuck and stop expecting other races to care. Like out here in Las Vegas, I see it already. And I say it all the time. I see Koreans, every other race with their stores and their grocery stores and their food stores, but they always on dirty dining with their nasty asses. But our stores never get represented in a good light. They never talk about black wealth and how we supposed to have black businesses in the black community. But you go on Eastern and Charleston and Eastern. Take Eastern from Charleston south to Eastern and Maryland Park, or to Eastern and Sahara, and all you're gonna see is Latino businesses. You ain't gonna see a black business over there. It's gonna be all Latino business. It's gonna be lawyers, taxes, everything for them. All for them. But in the black neighborhoods, they give you a Jackson Hewitt or they give you Liberty taxi with that clown ass Statue of Liberty that look like it belongs at the shade tree. That bullshit. That's how they view you and view your people. Let me read some for the chat. The revolution will not be televised. Shit won't happen in one day. Fuck a vote, too. That's true, man. And look, this is what I think about voting. I think if you don't got no real resources behind it, then you fucked. Like you pull a councilman to the side and say, look, I'm gonna make sure your kids is straight. I'll give it to your auntie, and they'll hold it for you. But here go $10,000. You know, that's what we need to start doing. We need to start using these resources and buying these politicians. I don't give a fuck if they white or black. Like Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us. Anybody who disagrees with Dr. Claude Anderson, then that's your perspective. But I totally agree with him because his books changed a lot of my perspective. For real. And that's just me. And I don't expect everybody to share the same sentiments and have the same views as me because it ain't about that. I feel like it's more about us putting our differences aside and coming together as a people and unifying and getting some shit done. And I think that's the problem. We be so caught up in symbolisms and we be wanting the wrong people. Like on the last podcast, how we was talking about Floyd Mayweather. And that's the thing. We be wanting people like Floyd Mayweather to be activists for our community. And then we be wanting the activists to be like Floyd Mayweather. You can't have it both ways. You're not going to have a Floyd Mayweather and then have an activist and they both have the same amount of wealth. That's not how it works. Most activists, they're not even wealthy. They're not even rich. They got to work every day and grind every day just like us. And here's why I think voting don't mean shit without resources behind it. Is because George W. Bush already told you your vote didn't count. When everybody was jumping on stage talking about Al Gore won, and then George Bush's cousin came on CBS and was like, oh, we just recounted everything. Al Gore is not the president. George Bush is. Thank you guys and good night. So that just lets you know your vote don't fucking count. They give a fuck. If vote was voting, it wouldn't be. They wouldn't use it because motherfuckers would just be putting whoever. First of all, they gave you the options in the first place. They gave you a Democrat and a Republican. That's not what black people chose, but that's what they gave you. And then they give you spokesmen for the Democratic and Republican Party, like Angela Rye and Candace Owens, all these other clown motherfuckers. I don't care if you are a lawyer. If you're a spokesman for a Democrat or Republican and you speaking for them in the terms of that's what's good for us, and you really understand, you would be like, look, if you want to vote for the less of the two evils, you can fuck with them, but they basically gonna do the same shit to you. That's what you gonna say. But when you want to be on CNN and you want to be around the movers and shakers like Obama, then you don't give a fuck about your people, in my opinion. Yeah, they doubted, I'm gonna read something from the chat room. Tiger Woods too, they doubted that he would make a comeback. Yeah, but Tiger Woods got on Oprah talking about his scalpination and all this other bullshit. No, nigga, you're melanated. And that's why you're able to dominate that golf course, which they don't like as it is. They don't even like your motherfucking black ass. Period. And they really didn't like your black ass. You fucking all them white bitches. They really didn't like that shit. And the system of white supremacy is like, oh, hell no. This nigga's out of control. See, you can't deny where you come from. I don't care who you date. Just don't deny it and don't act like you don't know who those people are. Let me read something else from the chat. Floyd is low-key homo fighter. He was sold to the industry at age 14. Check out who he is related to and who he lived with. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's paid advertisement. Who he lived with. Y'all gotta educate me. I don't know about Floyd Mayweather like that. I just know that they like people like Floyd because he gonna spend his money on nigga shit. And he not gonna fight against the system of white supremacy because why would he care when you have that much money? Some people are not socialized and raised that way. But that's just the way it is. Hollywood is real. They buy children. That's a fact. That's a fact. Corey Feldman or Haim, one of them said that shit. He's like, nah, nigga, y'all looking at Michael Jackson. No, the real fucking pedophiles in Hollywood. But Hollywood is a part of the system of white supremacy. So why would they go after their own? They're not gonna go after their own. They'll sacrifice a few of them clowns. But when they booted Roseanne off of the reboot of Roseanne, they still playing the old Roseanne on TV Land. So I don't know why it's a big deal now. Then they try to redo The Connors without Roseanne. Man, get the fuck out of here. Please. There's symbolism in everything. You watch How to Get Away with Murder? Great acting. But for some sort of reason, the main actor is an alcoholic. Why we gotta be an alcoholic? Why we can't be a drug addict? Why we just can't be functional? Why we gotta be all these things? That makes for good TV. Or as Scandal, you're gonna be the president's side bitch. That's basically what she was. You never married him, you were never with him, but you his side bitch. Get the fuck out of here. You know, we gotta stop looking at symbolisms. I wonder how much we gonna protest. Ain't nobody still talking about it. We should be talking about justice for Lucca nonstop. People should be trying to put liens on his bond. That's why I'm about to get another book on sovereignty and learn how you can fight the system at their own, because every system has loopholes. And let me tell you, this system has a big loophole. It starts with the social security number. It's just most people ain't ready to hear that, because most people like being plugged in the matrix like this. and they think it's real, and that's how they're gonna keep it. They don't want to check out of the matrix. Even the people you work with. Go on the corporate plantation and see how people act. They're drones. They are drones. They're just like Louis Anderson on Coming to America. Yeah, I started on washing dishes. Now I have a chance of being on fries. That's where the real money is. Nigga, what? Let me read something from the chat room. Tiger's not proud of his race because the system told him not to be. Facts. And they test him to see if he will go against it. Facts. That's a fact. That's why I don't give a fuck how black you are. If you go in there talking about you ain't black and all this other shit, and like Raven Simone talking about I'm not black, I'm an American, all this other shit. No, you black. And your people built the United States of America. And I'm tired of all these motherfuckers talking about what the Chinese built and all this other shit. Oh, they built the railroads and all this clown shit. It's like, no. They probably volunteered to do that shit. And every other race got reparations but us. The Jews get their shit. Never let us forget the Holocaust. Schindler's List. They never let us forget that clown ass shit. We never forget about Pearl Harbor and all this other clown ass shit. But when it comes to black people, it's like slavery didn't exist. Like it didn't even happen. It don't even register on people's mind. That's why when white people have white fragility and they deflect, and they act so shocked when they see a race soldier, a representative of the system of white supremacy, beat a young black brother, bash his head into the concrete, the asphalt. Why are you acting shocked? Just like how they act shocked when that race soldier shot Philando Castile live on Facebook Live. Motherfuckers run up to me, showing me, oh my God. I'm like, black people deal with this every day. Like, get the fuck away from me with that shit. Stop acting, oh, now it exists? And I'm tired of Latinos and every other race want to stand with black people, black and brown, because now Donald Trump come out and be like, all right, well, we about to fuck the border and we about to get rid of all these motherfucking Mexicans. Now motherfuckers want to be like, oh, the black and brown are down. Well, where the fuck was y'all niggas at? Where were y'all antennas at when we getting shot by these goddamn race soldiers? When we're getting gentrified? When in our communities, we don't have no black businesses, but every time I look up, there's a Latino business, there's a Korean business, there's a China business, there's a Chinatown, a Latino town, a Korean town. But when it comes to black people, we got a KFC, a Taco Bell, and a Jack in the Box. And a Starbucks. You know, they didn't even talk about, if you live in Las Vegas, I think this lady's name is called Annie's. She's a black elderly lady, and I will be going. I don't even eat barbecue, but I will be going there. I don't give a fuck if I just taste the sauce. And I am going to be putting it on my YouTube real soon. You'll see. And she got put on Dirty Dining for having the cleanest restaurant with an A+ grade for 10 years in a row or some shit like that. Go look it up. You know how proud I was that my people, but shit, watch Dirty Dining. For all y'all not from Las Vegas, y'all don't live in Las Vegas. I'm talking about the people that live in Las Vegas. Watch Contact 13, Darcy Spears, Dirty Dining. It ain't never us on there. It's always the Chinamen playing stupid. Oh, I did not know that we had a roach. Oh, we got a few roach, but we did a clean. We do not know. We did a clean. And they shit have rats and roaches and shit. Then when they do the Latinos, that shit be funny. I work here. I not speak no English. That shit. Oh, they always be on there. And no diss, I'm just saying, they got all these restaurants, they get all these chances, all these opportunities, and then they talk shit about black people when they did not build this country. Matter of fact, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Most Latinos, they don't even know their origins. I don't care if you are from Guatemala. You speak Spanish. Spanish is Spaniards. That's in Spain. That's in Europe. So that's not even your dialect. So I don't want to hear that shit anyway. Let me read something from the chat room. Coming to America, I'm crying, laughing. How can we pretend that slavery never happened when I am a living product of it happening? It's a fact. It's true. It's all the fucking time. That's what irritates me. That's why I don't. This is one thing I've learned in my little studies, because I ain't read nearly as many books as a lot of niggas have. But in my little studies of reading the books that I've read, that like Neely Fuller Jr. says in the book, and don't quote me on it, but he talks about how don't get into a debate with white people about the system of white supremacy. They know that the system exists. They know that they benefit from white privilege. So why argue with them? Don't waste your energy on that. Your energy should be on trying to replace the system of white supremacy and establish a system of justice. So you shouldn't even be fucking worried about arguing with them. That's why it's not my job to explain to no Caucasian why we say nigga. Nigga, go read your book and find out why. Just don't say the shit around me. Period. Nigga or nigger. I don't want to hear the shit, period. The fuck out of here. We are not black spokesmen for these people. They play stupid and act and coy, and they use white fragility when they're being called to the floor. It's always white fragility. That's why white people can make as many mistakes as they want. And let me just touch on this real quick to all my brothers and sisters. I love my brothers and sisters. I'm proud of them. I don't care where you work at, what you're doing. I'm proud. I'm happy to see us working. Please do not compare yourself to any Caucasian that's in a position of power. It's their system. They are supposed to be successful. What you should be doing is when they are a failure in their system, you should be laughing at their ass. That's what I do. Don't compare yourself. Don't think, oh, well, Bill Gates, then fuck Bill Gates, fuck Warren Buffett. They're white people. This is their system. Jeff Bezos was given $350,000 in the 80s to start Amazon, which the same, that equivalates to what, $3.5 million today? So he's a part of the system of white supremacy. So they are allowed to make those type of moves because they're not trying to change and make things better for black people. If y'all notice, every other race is allowed to have businesses and so on and so on. But when it comes to black businesses, see, people don't know they was fucking with Nipsey Hussle, raiding his fucking shop, thinking that he was smuggling drugs and guns in there. And he was legit. And they didn't like that because they don't want him to free people's minds. See, Nipsey Hussle was kind of like Morpheus in the Matrix. That's why Morpheus had the keys to Zion. That's why the agents, they didn't want Neo. They wanted Morpheus because he had those keys to Zion. He had that knowledge. That's why they took out our brother. R.I.P. to him because they know he had the knowledge to better move our people. Now, if Nipsey would have just been talking Eritrea shit and not worried about niggas, and then they would have loved him. But since he was like, he represented his hood, he represented black unity, black wealth, why would they like him? I'm telling you, that's why I always look at the system and say, Warren, even when you see shit fucked up at the corporate, don't say shit. Why? They're never gonna, they don't care. Because you're not even supposed to be here to them. That's why I always say, and you hear me on every podcast, and I'm gonna keep saying it till the cows come home. My black people, I'm talking to melanated people, don't be convincing yourself that you gotta work 500 times better than the next person to get that respect. They're not gonna respect you no matter what you do or what you say. That's a fact. I don't care. Because the majority of the Caucasians you're gonna be around, they're not gonna be confident. Because if they're confident Caucasians, they will admit that they are beneficiaries from the system of white supremacy. The reason why they're in a position of power because of black labor. And they would know that they benefited because they have white privilege. And they would do everything in their power to replace the system of white supremacy and establish a system of justice. And not be like that clown ass Tim Wise who act like a preacher and want to come amongst black people and have a little slang to his talk. And my daddy and my mama said this and this and that. But where you at? Where you at, Tim Wise? Where you at? No, you too busy talking shit about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and how her shit is pseudoscience bullshit. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's why our brother Neely Fuller Jr. says you have to question, when Caucasians come among white people, question them when they pretend like they want to change the system, question them, because you don't want to work to be seen. You just want to not expect them to do anything for us, because they're not. They're not. It ain't, like I said, it ain't my job to explain to you why black people feel the way they feel. It's my job to explain to my people why we feel the way we feel from my perspective. That's why I always say this channel may not be for everybody. Ain't good. I'm glad Shawnee Brown be telling me, oh, it won't even let me hit the like button. It won't even let me do the chat. That lets me know that what I'm saying, facts. So I love it. I'm not on here cloud chasing. I love it the way it is because I love building things from the ground up. I have the most unique perspective because working at that corporate plantation and being around people that work it, it's a mind fuck, because you just be listening to people like, damn, for real? You really in the Matrix, huh? Because they don't got me convinced to work 10 times harder than everybody and they gonna respect me. No, work 10 times harder than everybody, put your health in jeopardy, and then then when you die, they gonna talk about what a good nigga you was. That's a fact. No. I want to know what white people are saying and what the system of white supremacy is saying about black people when black people are not around, like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talks about. I want to know how many other races are trying to replace the system of white supremacy and establish a system of justice. No, other races come here, benefit from our labor, and then they talk shit about black people. And I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of it. That's why I don't fuck with motherfuckers unless it's my own. And you like, what do you mean my own? I'm talking about people that's for the forward movement of my race. If you ain't for the forward movement of my race, then get the fuck away from me. Because everybody else been benefiting all this time. You know, all this other time. You know what's so funny is when you hear other females from other races talk about how they've been socialized to stay away from black men and not date black men like we ain't shit. I've heard this from every other race, right? But what trips me out is especially when it's a Puerto Rican or Dominican. Oh, and if it's a Latino, I really be laughing because I be looking at them like, so you've been socialized not to fuck with. I remember at the corporate plantation a long time ago, I'm gonna tell this story. I knew this Mexican girl, this Latino girl. That's the Latin now. We want to say Latin, even though their dialect is from Spain, Europe. And according to Dr. Frances, not Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, but according to Dr. Claude Anderson, which I think the same thing. Hispanics ain't nothing but white people speaking Spanish. Facts. But anyway, and Hispanic is not even a race. But what tripped me out about this young Latino sister, she had two black kids. She had two mixed kids, or what they call biracial. And I asked her, the first thing I asked her, I was like, how does your parents feel? Like, oh, my dad didn't like their dad at first. Now, this is what tripped me out about Latinos. You're socialized not to fuck with us. You don't like dealing with us, right? But history teaches us, that we built this country. History teaches us that we were here first. They came before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. History teaches us that if you read They Came Before Columbus, the pyramids that y'all built in Mexico were taught by Africans. History teaches us that every bit of science, liberal arts, were taught by Africans. Okay. And history teaches us that since we were here first, in the first bone, Lucy, that was found, I think, in San Diego, black woman, which was the bone was 30,000 years old, right? So that lets us know that we were here first. And history teaches us that the Moors were the Indians. That how can you socialize your kids to stay away from black men when we were here first? And the saying that they're saying now is, we grew here. Latinos flew here. So with that being said, I don't need that shit. And I don't respect no woman who would allow her family to tell her to stay away from black men unless you've educated yourself on what black men are responsible for in this fucking United States of a so-called America. That's a fact. Like I said again, Latinos, y'all flew here. We grew here. We've been here before all y'all motherfuckers. We're responsible for civilization, math, science, all the shit that y'all benefiting off of. All the shit that we did. So how dare any other race tell their daughters to stay away from black people? You know why? Because of genetic annihilation. There's something in black testicles that no other race possesses but us, according to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Then read some from the chat. Don't let them lowercase your capital G. Stay a king. Don't forget Queen Nuke. Stay pimping. Shout out to Nuke. Hey man, it's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, Johnny, that's some real shit. I know they be fucking with the channel because a lot of the times when I stream live on YouTube, YouTube will be like, oh, the stream is not working. And then people will be like, no, the stream is working fine. And I feel like they do that shit to get me to fucking cut the stream off. I know what I'm saying is facts. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And I'm not here to clout chase. Remember that. I'm speaking real perspective from what I see in the books that I've read. I'm not just fucking making up shit. These are the books that I've read. Racial Showcasing Confusion is real. White Fragility is real. The Burglary is real. Numerology is real. The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing is real. She talks about the matador and the bull, the black bull. Go on the internet and see how many white women are looking for a black bull. Exactly. So, and that book was written in the 70s. So I'm just saying, these books give you perspectives. So I just want, I want people to enlighten themselves and each one teach one. Stop fighting each other. They like watching each other fight. They like us getting into it with each other. We are kings. We are gods. We are the gods. Let me tell you that Marvel series, Kree, Hala, I'm going to show you the book where Hala's in that book. From ancient modern beliefs and Egyptian thoughts. Egyptian beliefs and modern thoughts or some shit. The Avengers, X-Men, all that was created based off of black people. Remember that. I don't care what nobody say. You'll see. One day you'll learn. Hey, man, I appreciate it. This is the Know I Don't Know podcast. Shout out to Nuke. Nuke said on Sunday she takes off a little bit. She likes to go to church. And then after that, she likes to go downtown and check on her hoes and make sure they are doing what they are supposed to be doing. So shout out to Nuke. But I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, man, send this to any coon, Sambo. You know, I want the coons and Sambos to see it. Maybe they'll wake up. Send this to any kid that's 18, 19, 20 and needs a little bit of waking up. Each one has to teach one. Don't hoard the knowledge. Don't hide, divide, nigga. Hey, man, it's been fun. It's been real. If you out there doing some bullshit, guilty, nigga. I'm out, man. Peace.